Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So where are we?
Breckenhoe.
We're not in Breckenhoe.
Well, where are we?
We're in Inglehoe, I think it is.
Inglehoe.
The Brecken of Inglehoe.
If you know where that is, let us know.
No, I'm going to tell you.
Inglehoe.
It's Inglehoe, isn't it?
Inglehoe.
Where are
I
we?
should have sorted this out before we got rolling. People don't need to get...
People don't need what?
See, it's Beacon Hill.
I'm not sure.
Anyway, we're in England.
We're in England.
We're not far from Watford.
Ivinghoe. Ivinghoe Beacon. We're in Ivinghoe Beacon.
Ivinghoe Beacon. We're sitting on the edge of this mountain.
We're sitting on the edge. Now, I'm going to do something. She's not going to agree with it, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Oh, so what's he doing now?
You all hold tight. Watch. We're just going to spin you around here for a minute.
Oh, dear.
Loose. There we go.
This is going to be horrible.
Okay, can you see? See? This is the view all the way around. And then come back. I like doing those kind of things. She doesn't.
Alright.
Doing a reading. And today just so happens to be our 13th wedding anniversary. So we made it. Lucky 13.
Yeah. Today being Monday.
Anyway, yes, when you see this, it will be a different
Friday.
day. Friday, yes.
Just thought I'd put that in there.
Okay. All right, so here we go.
All right.
Where are we reading from?
Canto 4, Chapter 6, Text 1. Lord Brahma satisfies Lord Shiva.
Okay, so we've got a new chapter.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Text 1. All the priests and other members of the sacrificial assembly and all the demigods, having been defeated by the soldiers of Lord Shiva and injured by weapons like tridents and swords, approached Lord Brahma with great fear. After offering him obeisances, they began to speak in detail of all the events which had taken place. Text. Oh, that was 1 and 2, so text 3. Both Lord Brahma and Vishnu had already known that such events would occur in the sacrificial arena of Daksha, and knowing beforehand, they did not go to the sacrifice.
Interesting.
So they got the memo. Purport. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 26, Veda ham samati tani vata manani cha Arjuna. The Lord says, I know everything that has happened in the past and is going to happen in the future. Lord Vishnu is omniscient, and he therefore knew what would happen at Daksha's sacrificial arena. For this reason, neither Narayan nor Lord Brahma attended the great sacrifice performed by Daksha. That's interesting. You could say for all those people that got their faces gorged off and teeth knocked out and other lovely things, it might say, well, thanks for the heads up, Vishnu and Brahma. Could have told.
It was a bit of a heads off.
Could have told us, but in one sense, if you think about it, in such a situation as the offence that Daksha caused, one could say nothing good would come of it anyway, especially when you hear that his daughter, the fiery Sati, turns up married to Lord Shiva. You could predict something was going to go down. You know, like when your family get together, there's always someone that gets their nose out of joint and brings up some family history 20, 30 years ago. Just speaking generally, but You know what I mean? But yeah, it's interesting they didn't go, and they're like the fathers, you know, or the guardians, and now all the kiddies and demigods and sages. It's like they go to them and say, look what happened, we got bust up and all, you know, they attacked us and they ruined everything, and now it's up to Brahma and Lord Vishnu to, as the elders as it were, to sort it out.
Yeah, I mean, I made a note on this section.
Sorry, somebody just tried to get in my ear. That's not happening.
So, yeah, I made a note that it's interesting that they knew and they didn't go, but then one might wonder, why didn't they try to stop it? Why didn't they try to do something to prevent this chaotic situation when they're going to have to clean it up anyway afterwards, as you just said? So,
yeah.
So it seems like, you know, you think they might have taken some action to try to prevent the situation.
Yeah, but now you brought up a good point, because in terms of just certain things dealing with whatever we see, anyway, general, sometimes we see the downfall of people that's meant to be due to their karma, if that makes sense, and due to their actions and interactions. And you know, you might, when something happens, you may be like, oh, they did so much service, or they did this, that, and look how they left. But then, yeah, but look how they dealt with people. It's almost like Daksha had to, have that just desserts almost, you know, and everyone that was there, like they say, Prabhupada explains collective karma, they needed a good bashing and all, because in one sense, it wasn't cool what happened to Lord Shiva, and everyone, he walked out, I believe, and everyone else just got on with it. So that's not nice either, you know. Like we've already read, if you offend someone, what is it? You pull out their tongue, or you kill them, or you walk off, basically. You got to make some stance. If you don't, then what are you saying? You know when people, devotees get sentimental, and it's like, oh, anyway, let it go. No, let nothing go. So.
Well, let it go, but it seems Brahma and Vishnu did let it go.
No, but I'm not talking about them. They took the higher ground, isn't it?
What was that higher ground?
After the first time, they stayed away. My point is, when Daksha did this sacrifice again, the best thing for his peers and whatnot would have been, nah, not call Daksha, I don't think we're going to come, and he would have been told. And then one would think he'd have humble pie and go, I'm sorry Shiva, you know, make up.
Yeah, but there's no humble pie program for.
Yeah. So but they still went. So that doesn't give a nice message to someone who got hurt as well. Let's be honest, that you got hurt and maybe behind the closed doors, like, yeah, Daksha's so annoying, isn't he? Yeah, but oh yeah, we're going to his party again. Yeah, he's holding another party and we're gonna go. Well, why are you going? It's not very nice.
Interesting. Okay, let's read on and see what happens. So text number 4. When Lord Brahma heard everything from the demigods and the members who had attended the sacrifice, he replied, "You cannot be happy in executing a sacrifice if you blaspheme a great personality and thereby offend his lotus feet. You cannot have happiness in that way." Purport. Excuse me. Lord Brahma explained to the demigods that although Daksha wanted to enjoy the results of fruit of sacrificial activities, it is not possible to enjoy when one offends a great personality like Lord Shiva. It was good for Daksha to have died in the fight, because if he had lived, he would have committed such offenses at the lotus feet of great personalities again and again. According to Manu's law, when a person commits murder, punishment is beneficial for him, because if he is not killed, he might commit more and more murders and therefore be entangled in his future lives for having killed so many persons. Therefore, the king's punishment of a murderer is appropriate. If those who are extremely offensive are killed by the grace of the Lord, that is good for them. In other words, Lord Brahma explained to the demigods that it was good for Daksha to have been killed.
That's what I said, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah. So it seems that they were clear of the offenses and knew that Daksha needed to be punished, and thus allowed it to happen, but did not do it themselves.
And gave him the rope to do it, no?
Yeah.
Unravel.
Well, you give people enough rope to hang themselves, but sort of thing. So, yeah, so it seems that because of what he did, that he was, destined to be on the receiving end of his own reactions, and that's what happened. So, morning, and that's what happened. So, and Vishnu and Brahma knew that, and so they just kind of steered clear and let providence take its path, like that.
It's like no one here, right? All of a sudden, when we sit down to read, this always happens to us. It's like everyone here.
Well, I don't know if everyone's here exactly. We've had 2 couples passing on each side, and it is a public footpath. But they got to see us reading Bhagavatam. Maybe they heard a little something.
Alright, text 5.
And they said hello, which is nice, so then they get benefited.
Alright, you have excluded Lord Shiva from taking part in the sacrificial results, and therefore you are all offenders at his lotus feet. There you go. See? Still, if you go without mental reservations and surrender unto him, sorry, there was something there, and fall down at his lotus feet, he will be very pleased. See, that's what I was saying. It's like, it's not cool. You knew he did wrong, and yet you still went again to the sacrifice. So yeah, you deserve to be beaten up. It's not nice. Purport. Lord Shiva is also called Ashutosh. Ashu means very soon, and Tosha means to become satisfied. The demigods were advised to go to Lord Shiva and beg his pardon, and because he is very easily pleased, it was certain that their purpose would be served. Lord Brahma knew the mind of Lord Shiva very well, and he was confident that the demigods who were offenders at his lotus feet could mitigate their offences by going to him and surrendering without reservation. So yeah, it's like I was saying, isn't it? Yeah, it's a lesson. It's a good lesson, though. It's like, I'm not trying to get controversial, right? So I'm not going to. But we see, like, sometimes there is a level of sentimentality as well. So we see someone's not treated in the right way, even to the point where they're offended and they're hurt. And what message does it give out if on the one hand you're like, yeah, it's true, man, yes, no, it wasn't cool, but then you publicly or otherwise associate with that I think it gives a much more powerful message to the person who did wrong. If not that you go and cut his head off, but you say, if you don't mind, Prabhu, I'm not going to come to that event or that whatever, Sangha or whatever they're doing. Yeah, and either you say, if you have the relationship, you can say it direct, because I didn't think it was cool what you did, or if you don't have that level of closeness, just the fact you don't go, people, Super Soul gives intelligence and they'll get it. They know it anyway in the heart. So, I think that's just, I feel quite strongly about that. Sometimes it's important to do that and not be, I see that a lot, sentimentality, and it's like, it gives the wrong message all around. Because then it makes you think, well, you must agree to a certain extent. Something is there. You don't think it was such a bad thing. So, bring on the hobgoblins. Get on.
Lord have mercy. Okay, shall we read one more?
Yes.
Text 6. Lord Brahma also advised them that Lord Shiva is so powerful that by his anger all the planets and their chief controllers can be destroyed immediately. Also, he said that Lord Shiva was especially sorry because he had recently lost his dear wife and was also very much afflicted by the unkind words of Daksha. Under the circumstances, Lord Brahma suggested it would behoove them to go at once and beg his pardon. Text 7. Lord Brahma said that no one, not even himself, Indra, all the members of the assembled all the members assembled in the sacrificial arena, or all the sages could know how powerful Lord Shiva is. Under the circumstances, who would dare to commit an offense at his lotus feet? Basically, it means you guys are stupid. Don't do that kind of thing. After Lord Brahma advised the demigods to go to Lord Shiva and beg his pardon, it was suggested how he should be satisfied and how the matter should be placed before him. Brahma also asserted that none of the conditioned souls, including himself and all the demigods, could know how to satisfy Lord Shiva. But, he said, it is known that he is very easily satisfied, so let us try to satisfy him by falling at his lotus feet.
No, you didn't.
Didn't what?
Do you need to have a comment? Oh.
Well, I mean, there's lots of comments.
It's getting windy. I hope you can hear us. Alright, this is a final paragraph.
Yeah.
Actually, the position of the subordinate is always to surrender to the Supreme. That is the instruction of Bhagavad Gita. The Lord asks everyone to give up all kinds of concocted occupations and simply surrender unto Him. That will protect the conditioned souls from all sinful reactions. Similarly, in this case, Brahma also suggested that they go and surrender unto the lotus feet of Lord Shiva, for since he is very kind and easily satisfied, this action would prove effective. So he's just highlighting Lord Shiva. Ooh!
Shiva Day. That's the wind there. Sorry about that, everyone. Where are we at? Okay, sorry.
Sorry, everyone. So are you okay?
Yeah, just...
Sorry, everyone, but are you okay? It's very windy. I hope we don't fall off this mountain. So anyway, on that note, I think we'll just say that, yeah, Lord Shiva is easily displeased, but also easily pleased. So also another good point about his nature, that yeah, he got really upset, but Lord Brahma is saying even though he lost his wife, he got very harshly treated by his father-in-law, still he'll actually forgive you. That's what he's saying. You know, he could say, Lord Shiva could like throw down thunderbolts as they approached Kailash mountain, but he actually doesn't, and that's all credit to his nature, really.
All credit to his nature.
Yeah, it's good nature, because he got wound up, but he had good reason to get wound up, because his wife died and his father-in-law wasn't very pleasant, if we can put it like that, publicly. You know, there's always, let's be honest, between in-laws, those of you who've got in-laws, you know, let's be honest, there's always some issue, mother-in-law, father-in-law, so but it's not, but there's a line that they shouldn't cross, you know, and you don't go into some big family event and then start insult your mother-in-law, father-in-law, insults you and calls you monkey eyes and dirty and all this. I don't think that's going to be appreciated. So he had reason to be upset, but Brahma's saying, actually, even after all this, if you go and just say, really sorry about that, are we cool now, he'll be cool with you. And that's to his credit, I'm saying, because let's be honest, how many of us hold grudges? That's, you know, we could milk this till the end of the millennium, really, if we wanted to. Like Shiva could, let's be honest, he could. Wife's dead, father-in-law, what he is, I could milk it, man. But he doesn't, that's the point. Alright.
Everyone can see how inspired you are by this chapter.
I love it. I might go and read that previous chapter again.
Okay, everyone, thank you very much. Please read the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah.
Please chant Hare Krishna. And all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai. Hare Krishna.